Time had come to a standstill for me. I looked at the calendar on my wall. The boxes, once individually checked off, stopped in the middle of the month. It had been this way for 2-3 months now. It wasn't clear why it had stopped, why I had stopped moving it. It simply did. With a single step, I had traveled dozens of miles to a stage I had performed on many times. As I stared out onto the stage, I saw something too familiar. It just sat there. The door was locked behind me. I never saw an expression on its face. Its face. I say its face as if I didn't recognize it. Within a fraction of a second, it was in front of me. I tried to stand, but some binding force weighed me down. I could only watch as it raised a hand, waving. I knew it wasn't locked anymore. Damn it. Fanfare. Mood music? No, a theme song?
We've all made mistakes in our lives at one point or another. The stories of our lives are written according to our actions, the ones we take and the ones we don't. Clichés like this plague even the greatest of writers. Picture even your favorite creative mind, your Steinbecks and Dubois, your Tolstoys and Hurstons. Brilliant minds in their own day and today. Yet they all at times could fall to the common trappings of the human mind. Pattern repetition can be subconscious and instinctive, even within writing. Thankfully, that's what editors are for. Today's caller is not one of those great minds. No. Today we are visited by a writer who faces one of the greatest hardships he can imagine. A titan of impeded progress, the final roadblock in path of achievement. The dreaded mental wall, writer's block. For months he's toiled away, facing down that blank page like it owed him a life debt. Yet his determination has reaped no reward. That's why we gather here today. To guide this wayward soul towards something even greater. Tonight's feature presentation, a preview of sadness and of loss. Stagnation, meaningless wandering through life. Ladies and gentlemen, the writer.
Are you listening to me?
What? Yeah, sorry, just, spacey.
Great. So are we gonna do something today or not?
Well, what do you mean?
I mean that you're here, and I'm bored, and you're boring me even more, so let's go out and do something.
But you said you weren't feeling well, so we were gonna stay in tonight.
Yeah, but I'm bored now, and you're boring me even more. I need something to do. We could go out to eat, go to a movie.
Hey, we could go to the park like we used to? Like when we stopped hanging out with just our friends?
I don't really feel like it. It's not like that, I don't want to. I'm giving you options here.
And like always, none of them seem to live up to what you want, so why don't you suggest something for once?
Oh, so now I'm the problem here? No.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry I came across that way. I just want to make you happy. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I don't even feel like going out anymore. Let's just order food and stay in tonight. You're lucky I don't have classes tomorrow.
I know. I love you.
Love you too.
For the first time in my life, I had seen somebody who could look past all my anxieties, past everything that I perceived myself as, and see me as, who I wanted to see myself as. For once in my life, I found somebody that let me see past my anxiety, past all the worries about the future, and just see a future. A house, a kids, a family, everything that I had ever wanted. I'd never really understood the concept of being blinded by love. I always thought that, I'm too rational, too, smart, perceptive, analytical to be fooled by it. Convince myself that I wasn't human in that aspect. I knew that it had happened to me once before, and I wasn't going to allow it to happen to myself again. The small signs were there. The little texts late at night, the consistent talking about your new friends. It's just those little things kept piling up while I overlooked them until it was too late. Small details that could have otherwise gone unlooked, and I oversaw them because I thought that I was just being paranoid, because I had lived through it before. I remember the night that it happened. That night replays like a movie in my head over and over again until the credits roll, and then it starts again because I thought I was better than having to live through all that again, I guess. You told me what had happened. I got out of your car. They said, we're done here. I got into my car and I drove off. And that was it. Nothing else after that. No contact, no discussion, no nothing. I wanted you gone. Out of my life. Complete contact cutting. I thought it was for the best. It was for the best. Because I knew that if, even for a moment, my brain had tried to convince myself to rationalize something, I would make a fool of myself. And I had already done that once. I wasn't going to let it happen again. Deep in my heart, as much as I loved it, as much as I loved you, I knew it would have never actually worked out. Even if that hadn't happened, there was an imbalance. It wasn't equal. It was one person trying to maintain everything and then somebody else just sitting along for the ride enjoying the spoils. That's no way to live your life. I did everything I could to make you happy. Not us. You. It wasn't just me you left behind, though. No, there were about a dozen of us. The entire friend group just cut like that. Cut off, left adrift to sea with me while you went off and joined your new friends. But we kept living. Hurting is a part of life, but we grew from all our experiences that we had to deal with, dealing with you and everything that came in the wake of it all. I'm happier than I have ever been in my entire life. I have achieved so much in such a short amount of time. There are still times when I think if I could go back and change it all. Would I? Should I? I don't think that I would. As much as it hurting is a part of life, I'm all the better for it. I made a vow on that day to be greater to myself, to accomplish what I wanted to do. So I guess, in a weird, roundabout way of saying it, thanks for the pain.
Are there any questions or concerns that you had for Dr.
No, nothing in particular. I mean, no concerns exactly. I was just wondering if Dr. could help me with my weight loss. I started off the year really good, but these past few months have been kind of slow to go down.
Well, don't forget what I told you. Muscle can weigh more than fat, and if you're simultaneously in a caloric deficit and working out, it could eventually result in stagnation.
I mean, I haven't even been working out enough to counteract the weight loss.
Sometimes people just plateau for unknown reasons. Everybody's body works differently.
I know, but it's almost been 3 months now and I'm still hovering over the same digits.
Here's what I'll do. Let's get some blood work done, and if anything unusual gets flagged, I'll let you know. In the meantime, keep doing what you've been doing, and I'll see you again in a month.
Okay.
Sometimes people just plateau for unknown reasons. Everybody's body works differently.
I know, but it's been almost 4 months now.
Sometimes people just plateau for unknown reasons. Everybody's body works differently.
I know, but it's been almost 5 months now.
People just plateau for unknown reasons. Everybody's body works differently.
I know, but it's been almost 6 months now.
Sometimes people just plateau for unknown reasons. Everybody's body works differently.
No.
I know, but it's almost been a year now.
Stop. It's not true. It's only been about 4 months. That's a perfectly normal time frame to have issues within. All my life I've been insecure about my weight. It's an issue that a lot of people my age have, but especially me. But I had always struggled to find the motivation, the perseverance to keep going, to keep pushing through it. And then all that happened, and the fire was finally lit under my ass, and I had the motivation to keep going for me. I did good in the beginning, at least for me. I dropped 40 pounds in almost 8 months. Some may say that the rate of loss is slow considered in comparison to other people's progress, but for me it was substantial. For me it was something that I had never done before. And the months continued on, ticking away slowly, and I kept making progress slowly but surely. Some months were slower than others, but that's just how it goes. Some days I was more lax on myself, and some days I was more strict. But I was still making progress. And then I plateaued. I don't know what happened or why. Every time I've reached a plateau in weight loss before, it's been the reason that I stopped. But I've been trying to push myself through this period of resistance. Push and shove myself against whatever's holding me back, and it keeps getting harder and harder, but I don't want to stop. Sometimes I really don't know if there is anything else I can do outside of starving myself, but I know that that's stupid and irrational. It doesn't make any sense. I feel it. I feel more confident than I ever have before. I'm more comfortable in my skin. Yes, there is a long way to go still, but I can already feel the changes. Other people say that they see the changes. And that's enough motivation to keep going when there's days that my eyes block that vision, block the ability to see the actual changes that I have made, when my brain just feels like giving up and throwing in the towel. But then I look at the scale and see that the number hasn't gone down, and all that positivity is wiped off the face of the earth. I know it's just a number, and the number doesn't always matter, but to me it does. I guess somewhere deep in my subconscious, no matter how much I try to convince myself otherwise. Everybody says that your weight doesn't dictate who you are, but I'm tired of being what I've been my entire life. I want to feel confident and attractive to myself. I want somebody to see me walking on the street, point at me and say, that's an attractive person. I want to see the me that other people claim to see. But this scenario, this charade, whatever just played out before you, it's just not true. It's only been a few months. Not half a year, not a year, a few months. And to think it could last a year? It's not true. I won't let it be true. Whatever all of this is, I'm not going to be a part of it.
My autonomy was back. I was back in the clothes I entered with. Back in this odd space.
What the hell is this? At least tell me why I'm here. Is this supposed to be some sort of lesson? And what the hell was that thing from earlier? I'm talking to you. I'm sure you can hear me. Answer me, god damn it.
You could say he's an adversary of sorts. Some call him the adversary.
You mother...
You've been oddly receptive, but also largely defiant. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you already knew half of what we were going to say. But that would be absurd, now wouldn't it?
There was that stupid, smug grin again. Hopefully his face would freeze like that.
Glad to see your penchant for dad jokes hasn't disappeared.
Just shut up.
It really is a shame our time is coming to an end really soon. I feel like I've barely gotten to know you. Well, outside of your trauma, that is.
Just shut up.
Take your time.
And you broke it.
Broke what?
This.
What is this?
You may be one of the most resilient cases we've had, but you need to have patience, some understanding perhaps. You might learn something useful.
Learn something? This drivel sounds like it was written by middle schoolers.
While I admit that our writing may need a bit of a punch-up, I do have to say that it was a pretty sudden change in scheduling to bring you on. I know it's all a bit strange. Trust me, the methods we use aren't my favorite either. But it's almost over. Stick around for the final act. It's usually the most beneficial.
Fine. One more act. And then if you don't let me go, I swear to God.
It's been, well, I'd say a while, but I don't think we've ever actually conversed face to face before. It's hard to know even where to start between us. I mean, I wouldn't say you've tried to keep me locked up, per se, especially these past, year or so, but for whatever reason in the past few months, you've been ashamed of me again. And for some godforsaken reason, you've decided to lock me back away. After the incident, it makes it sound like we killed somebody, but after the incident, you let me out. We thrived together. We grew. We explored everything that we could be capable of. And then come the turn of the new year again, and you just lock me back up. What happened, man? It feels like you're just throwing it all away again. There are snafus, and there are roadblocks, and there are plenty of other things that arise that hinder progress or make us feel like shit. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop everything entirely. That doesn't mean that you have to push me away again. That's why I went out there. So that somebody, while you're in here, is actually doing us some good. Because God knows if you're in charge, well then we're fucked. This has to be a collaborative effort. And I thought that you understood that. You did understand it. And then you just let go of that entire principle and shoved me back in a corner. Sure, there were times that I was able to get out for a little bit, to roam free. But it was like you were ashamed of me. It was almost like you were happy or being miserable. Maybe it's because it's what we experienced our entire life. That idea that in some perverted way, our depression, our anxiety is just our natural state, and when we're in it, we're somehow thriving. But we're not. And I beg of you to understand that. This has to be a team effort. We managed to get you up on this stage, and you let loose. You let out your feelings, your expressions, how you felt about these things. And you acknowledge that you changed. You acknowledge that you made progress and that you became better, and then you still... I know we're stubborn. I don't know where we'd be if we weren't stubborn. But at the end of the day, you've got to learn to just accept some things. It's good that you're happy. It's good that we're happy. It's good that we're making progress. But dear Lord, dude, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to put us through this. You think I like him? No, he's a manifestation of our best friend, but you perceived him to be an even bigger dick than he is in real life. But at least then it's fun and friendly. Here it's just... ugh. And all this is coming out because you can't write a damn script? I guess what I'm really trying to say is... just let me in, man. Let us work together. Let's collaborate again. That's all I have to say. But I can't make that decision for you. Ultimately, you have to choose to let me in. You know where the door is. Hopefully I'll see you on the other side.